Patrick Mahomes is unanimously seen as a top quarterback in the league. In his young career, he has accomplished so much. He's won an MVP, a Super Bowl MVP. He's led the league's best offense and has broken so many records with the start of a quarterback's career and has already played in some all-time classic games where he has come out on the winning side. But last year, something happened. He had an 18-point lead in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals, and he came out in the second half and was the worst player on the field. He not only blew an 18-point lead, but he had another chance in overtime with the ball to put things away, just like he did 1 week prior against the Bills. But he threw an interception, Bengals win, and then a few days later, people kind of moved on. It doesn't get mentioned much after. The focus really shifted to the Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford storyline to the point where I completely forgot this happened until I started reliving some of the playoff games from last year. So the question of today's video, did everyone let Mahomes off the hook too easily? Has he proven enough already for this to be seen as a fluke and we shouldn't take it seriously? Or is this something we should actually worry about? Is his volatile, up and down, streaky style of play a winning recipe for a team year in and year out? Well, we're going to answer that in today's video. There's obviously a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. And the first thing we need to talk about, how bad was this game actually? Well, in the first half, the Chiefs' offense looked unstoppable. He put up a remarkable 98 QBR in the first half, so by unstoppable, I mean damn near perfect. They were rolling on all cylinders, and Mahomes looked like his normal great self. And in the second half and in overtime, he jumped off a cliff and posted a QBR of a whopping 1.4, which I didn't even know was possible. But it makes sense when your first 5 possessions go punt, punt, interception, punt, punt. But these aren't games Mahomes is unfamiliar with, except he's always been on the other side. We remember when he was down 24 against Houston in the playoffs, or down 10 in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl and won both of those games. He has seemed to always make these huge comebacks, and everyone knows a team is never comfortable with any lead they have against the Chiefs. And on the flip side, if it's one of those days where the Chiefs are rolling from the start and they get a big lead, you can almost turn off the TV because it's just their day and it's going to be an onslaught. That's why this game was so surprising, and even more so because it was directly correlated with the poor performance of the quarterback. And to put this into comparison, in the same playoffs, a storyline that continues to this very day is Aaron Rodgers with his subpar performance against the 49ers. Do we hold Rodgers to another standard? Or is it even weirder that we're still criticizing Rodgers because we've seen more examples from him where he's played great in the playoffs, won several more MVPs, where we should see that is more of a fluke? I think we can take a few things away from this Mahomes game in the AFC Championship game. Here's what they are. He is the most exciting player to watch week in and week out, and that's because no game is ever dead, and that's because no play is ever dead with the Chiefs. They have the ability, more so than any offense I've ever seen, to erase a deficit in a short period of time. But we saw the flip side of things in this game. There is only one gear with this team, and if their quarterback is having an off day or an off half, since everything runs through Mahomes, things can turn bad in a hurry, where they go 3 and out, interception, and you blink and the other team is back in it. This is the opposite of a young Tom Brady. Brady was the ultimate manager and a key component to a lot of New England's young success. They'd methodically pieced together some scoring drives early on, and if they got a lead, they were able to hand the ball off, and Brady didn't care if he didn't pass the ball the rest of the game. But in his young career, he wasn't even close to being able to do what Mahomes can do. And I think Mahomes understood this conceptually before, but now that he has experienced this firsthand, I predict that he is going to change the way he approaches a game like this in the future and avoid this ever happening again. You can't play scared to lose, but you also can't continue to be reckless and give the other team ample opportunities to get back in the game. There's a balance to this, and it only takes time in the league to figure this out. So I would be shocked if this happens again and he doesn't look more in control and more confident with the game plan to finish out a game that they should win. But with that being said, there is something that I think everyone is underreacting to, and it is much more big of a deal than people are talking about. Last season in 2021 was the easiest road to the Super Bowl he will face in the next 5 to 6 years. This was a golden opportunity missed to be in another Super Bowl against a very good but very beatable Rams team. The Bengals almost pulled it off, and it's hard not to think that the Chiefs are in that game and they play even 80% of how they played Buffalo. Then we're looking at Mahomes with 2 rings on his hand, and it won't get any easier to get that second ring than it was for him last year, as it was just there for the taking. Even in their own conference, it won't get much easier from them playing the Steelers and Bengals last year, and by the skin of their teeth, they got past the Bills. But the Bills aren't going anywhere, and frankly, they got a lot better. Maybe next time things don't go the Chiefs' way. And the Bengals aren't going anywhere either. They also got much better and now only have more experience. The Steelers got better as well, and so did 5, 6, 7 other teams in the AFC. Teams like the Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Colts, Dolphins, Ravens, in addition to the teams that we mentioned, all got better this offseason and have realistic deep playoff hopes. It's going to be incredibly difficult for the next 5 to 6 years to win his division and secure a playoff spot, and near impossible to get a first round bye, as their schedule is naturally going to be brutal, as they have 6 really tough games built into their schedule. And only one team gets a bye week in the new playoff system, and if and when he makes the playoffs, then he's going to have to worry about all those other AFC teams. When we look at Mahomes' career and the resume he's constructed already, let's get it out of our head that he's going to catch Tom with 7 rings. The game has changed, and with the new age of contracts, social media, and talent in the league, this level of consistency in an organization to stay on top for 2 decades just doesn't seem realistic anymore. But that's not to say there isn't another upper echelon of quarterbacks that are in the 2 to 4 range of Super Bowl rings. A lot of players have won, very few have been able to do it twice. It took Peyton Manning all the way to his last season of his career to claim his second one, and that should say a lot. So when Mahomes has one so young, and we see how incredibly difficult it is to win a second one, as even all-time greats like Aaron Rodgers are still looking to get theirs. So if Mahomes does win his second ring so young in his career last year, that's a really big deal. And now he has his whole career in front of him to get that third one, which would put him in a whole new category of players that's even in a smaller group of people. So is there something to be worried about with Mahomes in this AFC Championship game? Yes and no. It's no, because he isn't terrible or a choker. He had a bad half and choked one time. He'll learn and grow from this, and this shouldn't be seen as this aha moment where he finally got exposed to the world who he really is. He is still a great top-tier quarterback. But this is a big deal because now he has one less Super Bowl appearance, and he possibly left another Super Bowl win on his resume. And with how he started his career and the arc he's currently on, this was a massive opportunity missed for him to add to it. He had it in the palm of his hands, and he let it slip away. And now the window for error from this point on is just going to be much, much smaller. And the only way this is going to be a big deal in the future, aside from the level of competition in the AFC, is if he doesn't learn from this game. His play style does worry me a little bit. As we mentioned earlier, the Chiefs can win games that they have no business winning, but we saw for the first time that they can also lose games that they have no business losing with the exact same playing style if they don't adapt. And so moving forward, I don't think they need to change their identity because that's what makes them so good, but they need to master something that the Ravens and every Tom Brady-led team has been so good at. Getting a lead and being able to put together long drives where they stay in bounds, and every time they snap it, they get to watch 40 seconds tick away as they just get that much closer to celebrating. So no, I don't think we need to worry about Mahomes and the Chiefs. He's going to be fine. But the Chiefs have to worry about everyone else now, and that's what I think we should take away from all of this. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think. And I don't know if it's just me, but this storyline got completely swept under the rug and went under the radar. But let me know if you think this is something we should actually worry about, or if you think my analysis things are pretty correct. And as always, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. Thank you guys all so much for watching, but that's going to be it for me today. But as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace!